Hi everyone, and welcome to this brief discussion on intrinsic and extrinsic motivators in exercise for the general population. What are the motivators for exercising for an individual in the general population? General population meaning a person that is not involved in sport as their preferred profession. What motivates a person to do anything in their life, let alone exercise? The word motivation has been used to the point of saturation in society, but what is motivation? Specifically, what are the motivators for exercising? Is it for competition? Is it for monetary reward? Is it for social acceptance or public fame? Or is it for health reasons in the form of fear, removing the dependency on medication, or the individual wants to maintain a quality of life they have or improve their fitness level long term? Or is the reason deeper than that? Could it be a curiosity or a respect for the exercise discipline that the individual wants to experience for themselves? Could the reason be that the individual feels the need to challenge themselves, to learn a new sport or skill within a sport? To begin to understand this, we need to first define what motivation is. What is the drive that we are empowered with that causes us to focus on a task with such intensity that we spend the rest of our lives, in some cases, striving to achieve our fitness goals? Motivation, according to Sage, refers to direction and intensity of one's effort. Direction refers to what the individual seeks out or is attracted to learn. Intensity refers to how much effort the individual puts forward in the situation or area being learnt. Intrinsic motivation is where the individual strives inwardly to be competent and self-determining in their quest to master the task at hand. Intrinsic goals refer to the goals being task or goal driven in wanting to learn a new skill to the point of mastering that skill. This gives rise to the theory of having a focus on a goal and achieving that goal as a way of sports psychologists understanding differences in an individual's level of achievement. This theory is called achievement goal theory. There are three factors that interact to determine the individual's level of motivation: the achievement goals, the perceived ability, and the achievement behavior. Extrinsic motivation consists of the individual's training or exercise for the reward or recognition that will be gained as a result of the training. Extrinsic motivation has been linked to outcome or result-based orientation, also known as ego orientation, which can prove to be detrimental to an individual's chances for achieving success. This is evident in many sports where the use of ego is used to intimidate or build oneself up psychologically before attempting a feat of strength such as a strongman event, but none less than in full contact sports such as boxing or mixed martial arts, where we see in the lead up to the fight the fighters attempting to belittle their opponent with a verbal outburst of taunts and sometimes personal derogatory comments about the opponent in front of the camera, believed to build a hype and to give that competitive edge over the opponent before the main event. The danger with this orientation being driven by outcome and the reward as a result of the outcome, coupled with the high perceived ability that the individual has of themselves, should they not achieve success, their perceived ability will drop from them having a high perceived ability to a low perceived ability, and the achievement behavior changes from adaptive to maladaptive, leading to a lowering of the individual's perceptive ability and in turn their competitiveness. However, if the individual focuses on the task and the goal of becoming a master of the skill, learning and improving, striving to achieve the goals they or the coaches have set out for themselves, whether the perceived ability of themselves is high or low, the achievement behavior remains adaptive in either case, because the task orientation does not factor the projection of their perceived ability externally. The learning of the task and the individual mastering the skill increases the level of competitiveness that one individual has over another. Competitiveness, according to Martin, is a disposition to strive for satisfaction when making standards of excellence in the presence of evaluating others. In other words, competitiveness is achievement behavior in a competitive context, with social comparison or evaluation as a key element. So now that we know what motivation is and have discussed some of the theories used by sports psychologists to understand the personality of the sports person to determine what their level of success may be, what motivates us? Why do we, the general population, exercise? If it is to look good for this summer, that would be an extrinsic motivator and a short-term reason. meaning that this is an individual's personal perception of how society sees the external projection of themselves. Once the goal has been achieved, the belief is that exercise is no longer necessary and the individual just stops. It also depends on the individual's perception of what looking good is. Is it for competition or reward or recognition? To receive trophies or verbal recognition from strangers? Again, these would be extrinsic motivators. When the same question was asked to a different individual, the reply was, I want to test the limits of my physical ability, suggesting an intrinsic motivation, a curiosity of one's ability to learn how to establish their mind-body connection, which is a longer, more enduring reason for exercising, and therefore suggests that the individual will continue exercise in the pursuit of mastering this skill. I hope this brief discussion has been informative and gives some clarity on the range of some of the motivators, and this helps identify what motivators lead to developing a long-term exercise commitment. Keep up the exercise no matter what the motivation. Thank you for watching.